Hello, everybody, and welcome back to our 4-part webinar series entitled Transforming to a Digital PMO with AI. My name is Maria Helner, and I will be the facilitator for these 4 events. I'm delighted to welcome back our 4 subject matter experts joining us to be a part of this panel discussion series. So today we have Rich Weller of MIGSO-PCUBED. We also have Karen Norris of MIGSO-PCUBED. And then from Sembly AI, we have Arwin Adityavarna and Alec Rogers. Thank you all so much for being here today to share your insights and your experience. The topic for today's webinar is Transforming Your PMO with AI Agents, a step-by-step guide to successful integration. We spent the last few weeks understanding the value that artificial intelligence can add to your PMO. So today, let's understand better what successful implementation looks like and how your PMO can achieve it. So Arwin, let me ask you, what do you feel is the key to the successful implementation of AI agents into your PMO?
Of course. Well, thank you for having me, Maria. I'm happy to share about what we have seen because we've been around since 2019, actually. But really what we have learned is to be truly successful in implementation. It's not just about the technology, because a lot of people, when they think about a new technology, they primarily focus only on the technology. But again, the most important part, you must also incorporate the process and more importantly, the people who's going to be using the technology. So again, important thing is to have a game plan or an approach to treat it like a project, because you have to understand how you want to use the technology within your workflow and what kind of changes need to be made in order to make sure that this new technology can be successfully implemented within your organization. And again, you cannot just give people the access with no guidance or directions, because again, you have to provide that guidance, and also pointers on how people can actually leverage and use the technology to really extract the value and get the benefit out of the new technology. Now, we've been working with MIGSO-PCUBED, I think a little bit over than 3 years now, and we have seen them providing guidance through their Center of Excellence approach. Now, this is very important because with new technology, there's a lot of the unknowns. And here, MIGSO-PCUBED really is the expert who can provide the guidance with the experience and also with what they have seen in the past, the successful implementation. And again, the key is also about the knowledge about the new technology itself. So here, I think I will pass this to Rich because he will be the best to describe more on the details, since this is the expertise of your organizations, Rich.
Hey, thanks, Arwin. Let me just share my screen here and share my screen again and give you a little bit of a background here. What I'd like to do is just give you a little bit of a short story, if you will, or a short overview of our organization, MP or MIGSO-PCUBED. We've actually been digitally transforming organizations since around the year 2000. And this was when Microsoft actually released a product called Project Central. And we picked that product up and we became experts, and that tool migrated to what's called Project Server, and it is now called Project Online. So again, we are gold partner with Microsoft, but in addition to a partner with Microsoft, we're also partners with other organizations that offer these enterprise project management solutions like Smartsheet and Planisware, and we even have a tight alliance with an organization called PMO Analytics and their product, which is called Claverist. And if that's not enough, we also have experts and experience with other enterprise project management products, as you can see listed here. And our story goes on. We have worked with our clients to build and implement various dashboard reporting solutions using the products that you can see on the screen here. And we've also have experience in implementing AI agents. And here's a couple of those agents that we'll talk about. And the story that we've been, the thread or the storyline that we've been following throughout this workshop is really working alongside or working with Sembly AI, and we will continue that thread. So, but as Arwen mentioned, just to sum things up, you may say, well, hey, Rich, what's the reason? Why did you show us all that stuff, all that different technology? And the reason I did that is just to flash up, like, again, what we have learned, and Arwen said this, over the years, what we have learned is to be truly successful, it's not about the technology, it's about the people. It's about the people and the organization. Again, starting back in 2000, we became experts in organizational change management. This is actually one of our service lines. And also, as Arwen mentioned, what we found over the years is that the key to success is to implement and what we call a transformation center of excellence. So regardless of the technology that we're talking about, this is what we know. This is what we do. This is what our organization is experts in. We love to say we're experts with Sembly AI, but really that's Sembly AI's expertise. We're experts in helping organizations adopt this tool and implement this technology. And again, this is what we've done for years. And at a high level here, our approach is about building the foundation for change, and then managing the change, and then finally sustaining the change. And as you can see from this slide right here, it's not, it's just not just lip service, or it's not smoke and mirrors. We've got screenshots here from a number of tools or templates that are part of our arsenal that help, build that foundation, manage the change, and sustain the change that we've honed. And this is part of our arsenal to help an organization. And that's key to our center of excellence. You can see that we've incorporated pro-size ADKAR model into our approach. And now, using this ADKAR model as our backdrop, Karen and I, as the title of this webinar states, we're going to provide you a kind of a high-level, step-by-step guide to successful integration of AI agents into your PMO. Again, you could actually use this approach or these steps for any technological implementation, but we're going to focus really on our center of excellence while implementing and what we've learned and while implementing Sembly AI. So let's now dive in and provide you again the advice that we promised as the main portion of today's webinar. So with respect to this ADKAR model, actually the first step where you need to start from our experience is in this, what we call the define stage. And in this define stage, this is where you come up with you understand your current state of your organization, and you come up with a plan. And we, again, part of the tools in our arsenal here is we have change readiness assessments that we can assess the organization to see how acceptable or resistant to change an organization is. We also like to, at this point in time, define and document that vision statement. Hey, where are we trying to go with this solution? And then also identify a pilot. Which group or which team are we going to work with? In this case, again, working with Sembly AI, we picked we like to pick a pilot team so that we can start out small, take feedback, and gather lessons learned and build the momentum as we move forward throughout the implementation or transformation. And so now, Karen, can I toss it over to you? Can I toss the mic over to you and maybe continue on here with explaining our approach and how it aligns to the ADKAR framework?
Yeah, that'd be great, Rich. All right, so getting started, ADKAR, awareness is the first phase, right? So change is coming. We want to make sure the first communication is an important one. There are a lot of tools and technologies that are available. So you want to set a positive tone and establish an understanding of why this tool is being introduced and why this change. You want to include in this communication, you want to make sure that your team is aware that this new tool is going to be available to them. That seems kind of basic, but you want them to know that they have it at their access, and also a basic understanding of what it's going to be used for within your team. If you do have a certain goal that's set for its usage, as Rich referred to earlier, setting a goal, defining what you need, you want to mention that you briefly share this at this time as well. What we do, our first communication, it tends to be an email. However, you could include it in a staff meeting or any other meeting cadence if that worked out better for you. After this initial awareness, we are going to move into the next phase, which is desire. So the desire phase is exactly as it sounds, creating a desire, a want, and I gotta have this tool moment for your team. To do so, we prefer to make a live demonstration or host a live demonstration of the features and functionality. This allows for interaction with the users. However, if you wanted to introduce them with training videos, you could do that by email as well. The live demonstration just allows for more of a personal touch, in our opinion. Then I do also recommend recording your live demo because if anybody's unable to attend the demonstration, you can send it to them. And it's also a great reference tool for any new users that are going to enter down the road if you can't host another demo for them. Now, during the demonstration, you want to make sure you present the tool to cater toward your objective. If you are adding a tool to your company, to your team, to reduce time spent on meeting minutes, then make sure you're leading with that functionality that tool provides. Most tools have multiple functions. As you've seen us with presenting with Sembly AI, there are a lot of features, a lot of functionality, but it's important to present the primary function and features of this tool that your company is looking to focus on. And as you are demonstrating the technology and going through these functions, you want to sprinkle in the key benefits for the user. If a user understands how it will make their day or project more efficient, they are more likely to use the new technology. If somebody doesn't understand, then they're less likely to jump on board quickly to something new. When you are, finishing up this demonstration, you want to reiterate the benefits and how it will address a problem or be the enhancement that the user needs. You want your team member to leave the meeting with a desire, to take advantage of this new opportunity. So you want them to leave excited and you want them to jump right into the tool. So from there, we are going to get into the next one, which is knowledge.
Hey, Karen, if I could just jump in there and add a little aside. There's an acronym that I learned a number of years ago, again, as we were growing up and becoming experts in organizational change management. The acronym is WIFM, W-I-F-M. And that's really what we're talking about here in this desire stage, right? It's creating that desire. What you're wanting to do is help people understand what's in it for me, WIFM. And if you can show them, like you said, Karen, the benefits, the features, the functionality, and how it's going to make their life in some way better, that's the win, right? That's the goal here. So I didn't mean to interrupt, but just a little acronym there seems to stick with me, and feel it sits quite nicely as part of this desire.
No, that was perfect, Rich. That's exactly the point that I was trying to get across. So much easier with an acronym. All right, so we will get into knowledge. After this desire has been created for the user, you want to allow a little bit of time to explore the tool. I would say no longer than a month before you start, entering another phase. but you also want to make sure that it's close enough to your original demonstration to catch any of those users that maybe haven't quite jumped on board. So the early adopters, they're going to jump in, they're going to have some experience, and then maybe some of the late adopters are not quite there, but you want to make sure to follow up before they've completely forgotten about the demonstration. So what we do is we set up a training workshop. During these workshops, we can delve deeper into all of the features and functionalities, not just the primary objective. Like I spoke about before is, you may have talked about those meeting minute reductions in that first demonstration, but now you can get into all of the additional features that the tool has to offer. An example for us with Sembly was when they introduced MIGSO-PCUBED, we held a workshop to demonstrate the AI capability of the new enhancement. And it was instrumental in getting our users to have the, to start thinking about how they can use the tool in their project, right? So there's this new enhancement within Sembly, and we saw how awesome it was, and we wanted to get it right in front of them. So we set up this workshop, we showed them how to use it, so the function, and then started sharing use cases for that. Now, not all the time our users have the availability to attend workshops, so we do offer multiple approaches to increase the user knowledge. We use Microsoft Teams, so that's our main platform. We use Microsoft Teams discussion channel. This allows us to spread, quick little bits of information quickly, and also makes us available to answer any questions on the fly. So an easy platform that people are in daily, and they can just drop a line or a question, share any information there. And we also do a drip email campaign. So once a month, we've set it up on a monthly cadence. So once a month, I send out an email to our team with a new tip and tricks with Sembly. So if there is a new enhancement, we might talk about that. If there is an easier way to utilize the tool, we'll share that. If we've heard about a use case, maybe in our Teams channel, we want to share that out just to remember. We do this to promote the tool, but it also makes a new tool a regular part of the user's day. So they're not forgetting about something that's new. It's a reminder for them. So Rich, I believe after this, I can hand it on over to you to get into the next phase.
Yeah. So let me provide a little advice or guidance here around this the second A, which is ability, as part of the ADKAR framework, and that is the ability to implement the change and deliver the desired performance or behavior. And what we're talking about here, kind of following the succession, Karen, the story that you've been telling, at this point the users have, they have access to the technology. We created that awareness. We created the desire, and they wanted to join it and be, have access to it. We shared and imparted knowledge with them, and now, they got access to the tool. They begun working with the tool as best they can. But now is where we want to continue to support them and kind of drive the usage of the system and the application of this technology, so that we can get value, so that the organization can get value from the investment. So what we've done and what we do is to schedule a regular reoccurring cadence for the team to come together and in a real-time online session. And at this point in time, we do, again, it's driving that ability. And what we do is we have users maybe ask questions around, hey, how do you do this? How do you do that? We also allow our users to share features or functionality and how they work with the tool. Again, we've set these up as 30-minute chunks of time, and with kind of a really open format, and also give our users the ability to actually demonstrate how they've found value in the tool, and how it adds value to their life or to the world. And it's also an opportunity for us to introduce maybe a new enhancement or a new feature has been released, and it gives us the opportunity to demonstrate that to our users, to show what is newly available. And the remarkable thing about these sessions is that even though everyone is using the same tool, they all find separate ways of applying the tool to meet their needs. And then by sharing that with one another, everybody learns. And also by holding these sessions, we allow for the greater team, again, to benefit from everyone's experiences and applying these features or functionality, much sooner or quicker than if they had been in isolation and trying to, discover these things on their own. And it also, again, it gives us an understanding of the users and their ability with the tool. So that's ability. And now we'll move over to the R, which stands for reinforcement. And this is all about reinforcing the actions to sustain the change. And I'm telling you right now, what this is not trying to find people that are doing things wrong and whipping them or beating them or punishing them. No, it's the exact opposite. What you're trying to do here during this reinforcement stage is you're trying to find people who are doing things right. So what we do is, we monitor the system usage, not from a negative big brother type of way, but what we're looking for is somebody that's really leveraging the system, and we introduce we've got a reward and recognition system where for those people that are really pushing the envelope and leveraging the system, and we recognize those folks, we bring them to the top, put them on the podium, so that we're trying to drive or alter that behavior that we're looking through positive reinforcement. And again, this is the last step. This is needed. This is needed to make sure the goal of implementing this technology is realized. It's, again, I've been in this project management space for like 30 years, and I've actually seen many projects that the technology was beautiful, but there was a lack of the organizational change management. There was a lack of taking the people and the organization into consideration, and the tool or the technology was launched and it just died on the vine. It was a perfectly good solution, but just without without following an organizational change management approach like we provide and like we do, and without driving the reinforcement, it's not just turning the tool on and flipping it over the wall and letting it stay. You have to, you focus on this reinforcement. Sembly, for example, they've got a great data that they supply to us once a week, and it allows us to monitor our tool usage and also to ensure that things are set up properly. And again, monitoring, it's important to do from the beginning. If usage is not where you'd like it to be, you can actually intervene quickly and revert to maybe one of the previous stages here. Again, maybe we need to drop back and we need to focus on knowledge a little bit more and drive that home. Recognizing and rewarding those top performance, that's a fantastic way to encourage, as you can imagine, encourage others to try new tools and also to share their findings. And it's how you create the culture that you would like on your team. And in a digital PMO, you want to reinforce the early adoption to our tools and to our technology, and also leverage the creative thoughts of others on how to get value from that technology. And so that I believe brings us to the end of our ADKAR approach, our step-by-step at a high level approach for implementing AI agents within your PMO.
So as we close out our Transforming to a Digital PMO with AI webinar series, I do want to take this time to sincerely thank all of our panelists for sharing your insights over the past 4 weeks. And thank you to our audience for joining us. I want to remind you that if you have any lingering questions, you can send them right now in the questions window on GoToWebinar, and our team will get back to you right after this session. Or I'm also going to send our panelist, Alec Rogers, his email right in the chat. And if you have any questions after this call, you can reach out to him directly. We look forward to receiving any questions that you have, either directly to Alec or in the questions window below. And if I'm not seeing any questions pop up, then I would just like to say thank you for joining us, and I hope you all have a great rest of your week. Thank you very much.